That was not a typo. You heard it right. Productivity is out. Divine movement and divine alignment is in. You know, it seems almost taboo to go against productivity, right? Because the message that has been given to us from the beginning of our lives has been be productive, grind, hard work is going to give you what you desire and what you want and what you want to strive for. And the basis of it all is this foundational sense of grinding, right? You gotta stay productive to be worth something. Your output has to speak and translate who you are. You're more than what you can produce. You are more than your successes. And truthfully, if hard work made you rich, then most of America would not be below the poverty line. Because there are a lot of hardworking folks in the lower tax bracket in our country. So what does it look like to shift from this perspective of needing to be in consistent productivity? It looks like tuning into your intuitive wisdom and your intuitive voice. What does your body say? How does your body feel? When your body needs rest, do you rest? Or do you say you rest when you're dead? Or do you say you rest when you're rich? Which these notions will never be a strong enough foundation to hold up all that you are. You can be so successful, whatever that means to you, and it still not be all that you are meant to be. You know, I grew up hearing that I gained my success in school and all of my extracurriculars because I worked hard. That's what my mom would tell me. She'd be like, "You're a hard worker." And I began to believe that if I did not work hard, I was not worth gaining the success. And even past that, if I didn't work hard, I was worth nothing. What was I outside of my successes? What was I outside of my computer engineering degree that I worked so hard for? And then last year, for the first time ever, I decided to rest all winter. Unemployed, having no idea when my next check will come. Spirit, God, my body told me, you don't need to be getting a job right now. And it couldn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. Because rent is due tomorrow. What do you mean? But when you surrender to God, when you surrender to the flow of the universe, beautiful things happen. You see, there are so many voices in our head, and I invite everyone to start questioning the origins of the voices that speak to them. Who is it telling you that you have to get up at 5 a.m. for you to be successful? Whose voice is that? And if you say, well, it's my voice, I want you to go deeper because you were not born with that knowledge. Where did you hear it? What did it feel like? What does it feel like now? For some, it may feel great. I know what that feels like. And when I existed in that reality, it felt great for me as well. But it's because of the story I told about it. It felt great for me because I told myself that if I did this, I would be this type of person. So in doing it, of course, it felt great. But that's all ego. I'm inviting everyone to tune into their bodies, to tune into their spirit and their intuition. We've been served productivity like a 5-course meal. There is action in inaction, and there is inaction in action. I'm going to say that again. There is action in inaction, and there is inaction in action. Meaning, you could be resting and that do more for you in the grand scheme of your goal than getting up and grinding. You know? You could be doing yourself a huge disservice by going against what your body needs. And right now, because we're in the peak of winter, 9 times out of 10, your body needs rest. More rest than it ever needs. Look at nature. The trees are dead. The bears are hibernating. So much of nature is sleeping right now. And where are we? We are here in the beginning of a new Gregorian calendar year, 2025, figuring out how we're going to better ourselves. How can I get to the next level? How can I grind out? Where am I going to commit myself? And commitment is beautiful. Action is beautiful. It's necessary. I'm not telling anyone to not align with action. I am inviting everyone to create a new relationship with action outside of productivity and more in the realm of divine movement. Divine movement is exactly what it sounds like. Move when your body and when your spirit feels called to move. Not because society told you that you had to do it this way, or you would amount to nothing. No more. We're shifting into more of a feminine energy in our planet. Pluto has transitioned from Capricorn to Aquarius. The rise of the feminine is here. Divine femininity is energy, it's flow, it's water, it's movement. It blows, it goes with the wind. See where you can invite that into your life more. It can be the smallest thing. It can be the smallest thing. It can look like you taking an extra 30 minutes in bed and tuning into how your body feels. Literally asking, body, how do you feel? And seeing where it responds to you. You know? Yeah. I feel like there's something more to be said. Because I know it sounds crazy, but when I was talking about how last year was the first time that I've ever intentionally rested during the winter, and that looked like me literally not going outside, intermingling. I was in my home resting intentionally and committing to my spirituality and my connection with God. Even when, from an outsider's perspective, it can look like, you've been unemployed for 12 months. Why are you not applying to jobs? I knew that that's not what I needed to be doing at that time. And I didn't get evicted. The rent stayed paid because I surrendered to a level where God could allow things to flow. No, I allowed things to flow. And God, because God is sending us all that we need all the time. But we block ourselves off from the connection, you know? Ooh, no waste. You know, we block ourselves off from the connection. So I eased up around that, and I started to open up the channels and open up the connection, and God was giving me so much. It was it was exceptionally challenging. It was challenging, but I knew that I needed to do it for myself. And it opened up a whole new world for me. It taught me the true meaning of surrendering. And so I surrendered. I was unemployed. Last December of 2023 marked a year of me being unemployed. And at that moment, I knew I need to retreat inward. And so for the next 4 or 5 months, that's exactly what I did. And I started to disconnect to what society told me about being in action and being productive. And I started to just go with what my body was leading me to. That looked like not waking up until 3 p.m. some days. You know, that looked like me fasting some days. That looked like me, being in prayer for over an hour. That looked like not applying to jobs when it felt so wrong to do that because I had bills to pay. And then in the month of May, I started a new job, a 3-month project in a whole nother state that ended up lasting 8 whole months. You see? But that's because of the surrendering work that I did on the front end in the winter. And so by the time spring came, it all started to sprout. Exactly what nature looks like, exactly what nature feels like. So I invite everyone now to disconnect themselves from the notion of productivity. We're not even going to get into why productivity was woven into our being and indoctrinated into our psyche for this capitalistic state that we live in and that we've subscribed to. We're not going to get into that in this video. I'm purely just talking about a shift in perspective and the energy of how you exist with action and the origin of that action. Death to productivity is done. More divine alignment, more divine movement, more intuitive wisdom coming through from our ancestors. Rest is part of the revolution. We need rest to be powerful enough, to be strong enough, to be savvy enough, to exist in the revolution for the people. You can't do that burnt out. You can't. So, that is all. I'm going to pull one card here. Let's see what comes up. This is an oracle deck. And I'm so interested to see what comes out. I think I'm going to do bottom of the deck because sometimes I just let it flow out, but I'm getting called to shuffle and then reveal bottom of the deck, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see how we're going to close this out. Forgiveness in reverse. Where? And look at the picture. What did I just say about the revolution? What did I just say about the revolution? Because this is what we're working against. But you see the beautiful surrendering and the beautiful divine femininity? See, where can you invite in compassion? Because on the other side of this is compassion. This is her heart in her hand. Where can you invite in compassion for yourself in the world that you're creating for yourself, in the way that you talk to yourself, in the way that you treat yourself? I will leave you with that. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.